Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all doing good and well. So in today's album review, I'm tackling the latest album from Dawn of Solace. The album is called Flames of Perdition. It was released today on Noble Demon, and the album is 10 tracks, including 2 live tracks, and it's 49 minutes in length. Now, you may already be familiar with the work of Tuomas Saukkonen if you're familiar with his other projects, such as Wolfheart, going a bit further back, Before the Dawn, and of course I believe he has worked with Mikko Haikila on the Black Sun Eon project, so the two have worked together before, also I think on previous Dawn of Solace albums. So there is feels like there's a real maturity and experience kind of going into this album, because the album does sound like it feels like it has a real maturity to it, particularly in the approach to songwriting, the well-structured songs, the fantastic choruses. At times, the thing that stood out to me the most on the album were, some of the really kind of emotionally piercing choruses that we get. In particular, standouts to me would probably be Event Horizon and Erase. I thought the choruses on those tracks are really great and they're pretty memorable as well. In fact, I think the chorus to Event Horizon has been in my head for most of today, so it's a sign that the album has that ability to leave things and make them memorable with its listeners. And good first track, which was also a pre-release single, I believe. Like I say, I enjoyed Erase. Flames of Perdition begun with that nice piano melody, built into something more, slightly more up-tempo towards the end. And I was impressed with the way I think Mikko Haikila, although it sounds like his vocals are suitable more for the slower melodic stuff, even when that song picked up, I thought, he kept up the pace pretty well with the faster, slightly heavier rhythm. So it feels like, the two kind of here, Tuomas and Mikko in particular, really complementing each other pretty well throughout this album. And I don't really have much to criticise in the way of songwriting whatsoever, because that to me, and the structure of a lot of the songs, was a real standout. Also would like to make a couple of mentions. I liked some of the more acoustic work, particularly towards the end of the album. Some really lovely acoustic guitar work here going on. The final track, I think it was the final track before we got the 2 live tracks, actually. I should correct myself there. But we had Serenity in particular, which I thought was just a really lovely acoustic track, really nice melody and picking, and I thought that was excellent. And I kind of liked that the album ends on that point, barring the 2 live tracks that we got afterwards, which I think were from previous Dawn of Solace work. So overall, I liked how they, how this album flowed and how it reached its end. I don't have too much to say in criticism, although at times some people, I think, in particular myself, at times I noticed the kind of, there's like nasal quality to the singing, and it feels like that's just the natural singing voice of Mikko. But I think some may not necessarily kind of enjoy that kind of style of singing so much. For me, I kind of felt that it worked pretty well with the music, but it was noticeable at times that there was kind of a slight nasal quality to the singing. I also felt like, because maybe these guys are pretty experienced and pretty seasoned veterans when it comes to writing this kind of metal and writing these kind of songs, that at times the album perhaps felt a tiny bit safe within itself, and it felt like they could have explored perhaps some longer tracks, or perhaps gone a bit further into, some heavier stuff at times, I don't know. But that aside, I did enjoy this album. I think it is, at least for me, a 7. I'm going to give this 7.5 out of 10 as my final score for Dawn of Solace and Flames of Perdition. So what did you guys think of this album? Would you rate it as well as I have, or even higher as I have? How would you rate it against their previous works? And just feel free to drop in the comments what you thought. Otherwise, I want to just add a note that tomorrow, just a reminder really, because if you saw one of my other reviews, I did mention this, but tomorrow I'm doing my top 20 albums of 2020, which I'm really looking forward to doing and to sharing. I guess that, all being well, that will be up, should be up tomorrow evening, so look out for that if that is of any interest to you. Otherwise, as always, it's take care from me, and bye for now.